Hey everybody, my name's Millie. I'm 25 and I've got a confession. I've been sabotaging my little sister's relationship since she started dating. I'll tell you why in a second, but first, make sure to like and subscribe for more hidden wisdom stories. I did it because I really thought I knew what was best. And besides, these guys she liked were just too poor. Look, try not to judge me, okay? Because that's pretty much what I did, and it almost ended the most important relationship in my life. I'll never forget the day my parents brought my little sister Jasmine home from the hospital. She immediately replaced my dog collection, and we were so happy. But a few years later, our mother left our family for a really wealthy guy. The night she left, she woke up my sister and I and told us she was sorry she picked our father, that in our hearts we were queens. Dad didn't really know what to do with girls, so I kind of took over as our mom. And maybe that's when I started getting a little controlling. When I started dating, I remembered what mom told me about being a queen, and I set high expectations for all my boyfriends. First of all, you had to have a car. You had to be well dressed. I expected flowers or candles at the beginning of a date, and I refused to eat fast food. I wanted the same for Jasmine, but she was so different. As a teenager, she started listening to grunge music, and her style turned disgusting. I couldn't stand to see her in her baggy jeans, but Jasmine would just tell me that I shouldn't be so superficial. When Jasmine started dating guys, I twisted her arm until she gave me all the juicy gossip. Her first boyfriend was named Michael, and Michael worked as a valet. Gross. I don't know why it bothered me so much, but I felt like it was some sort of statement about me. I knew Jasmine would get all offended if I pointed out that he was a loser, but I couldn't stand to see my sister with him, so I chased him away. When Jasmine was in the bathroom one night, I grabbed her phone and took down Michael's number. I sent him an anonymous text message that said Jasmine was seeing other guys. Sure enough, he accused her of cheating and broke up with her. Jasmine took it harder than I thought, but I had successfully removed this parasite from her life. Still, Jasmine kept dating losers. I would usually give them a couple weeks before I'd scare them off somehow. When Jasmine got suspicious, I pointed out that poor guys are just insecure about how light their wallets are. And if she's with a guy who knows how to treat her right, everything will just click. It was Jasmine's 21st birthday, and I figured a girls' night out was just what the doctor ordered. So I told Jasmine to ditch her lame-o friends and wear something sexy. We drove downtown and went to this popular lawyer bar where I thought we'd have a good chance of running into some loaded guys. We weren't there long, and I pointed to two of the most expensive suits in the room and asked Jasmine who she liked better. To my surprise, she told me neither. Apparently, Jasmine had a thing for the bartender and she'd been making eyes with him since we got there. I couldn't believe it. Was she purposely trying to ruin the night? What could she possibly see in the bartender? So Jasmine introduced herself to the grody bartender while I set my sights on a gentleman sporting a Bulova brand watch and Hemsworth suit, custom tailored. His name was Terry, and he didn't hesitate to get me a drink. I wasn't really paying attention to him, though, because I kept watching Jasmine flirt with that bartender chump. I didn't think I'd have to resort to old tactics that night, but when Jasmine excused herself to the bathroom, I approached Bill and mentioned that Jasmine was going to be getting married this weekend. I figured it would be just enough for Bill to back off, but I didn't expect what would happen next. I turned around, and Jasmine was right behind me. She heard every word. She was furious. I tried to explain I was just looking out for her, but she told me to butt out of her life. I was so sick of being blamed for having good taste, but then something happened that made me think again. Terry gave his card to Bill to pay his tab, but the card declined. Terry was ashamed. I asked him how a guy dressed in a suit like that couldn't afford a couple of drinks. He said he'd been wearing the suit almost every day for weeks. Apparently, he'd been out looking for a job without much luck. Terry asked Bill if he was going to make him do dishes, but Bill told him not to worry about it. As it turned out, Bill was the owner of this bar and business was booming. So he was happy to return the good luck. Meanwhile, Jasmine didn't have to fake a connection with this really cool guy. It wasn't easy, but I apologized to Jasmine and promised that I would butt out of her love life. You know, Jasmine really taught me that superficial goals lead to superficial results. I worried too much about money and appearances, and I didn't see that those things don't make a relationship work. You have to look way deeper than that if you want anything meaningful. So remember, never judge a book by its cover. Have you ever misjudged somebody? If so, tell me about it in the comments, and don't forget to like and subscribe for more hidden wisdom stories. Remember, when you share our stories, you're sharing wisdom.